In fact, if you're looking for the next rock, try knocking on that door right here in Carson.
Plus, just one station with battling it out in the backyard. Wrestling to the extreme. But is this tough stuff too much for teens? Why, some are saying don't try this at home. Of the WWF. It's a backyard smackdown, if you will. And tonight our Peter Thorne is out there ringside. Peter, any injuries to report?
Not tonight, but a couple of weeks ago, yes. You know, this may look like any normal, ordinary neighborhood, but inside these homes out here in Carson, homes just like this one, lurks a hotbed of amateur wrestling. In fact, if you're looking for the next rock, try knocking on that door right here in Carson. If you think wrestling is just for the pros, think again. Tell The Rock to move on over and get ready for The Ron. That's him in the ring on home video. And here he is again tonight when I caught up with him at his home in Carson. 17-year-old Ron Robinson Jr., a senior at Banning High and a 2-year veteran of amateur wrestling matches, often wrestling in his own backyard or vacant lots. Ultimate goal, turning pro.
Is the point to be as rough as you can be and let the blood flow, or is the point to put on a show? And if somebody gets bloody, well, that's what happens.
The point is to put on a show.
But Ron admits in his backyard bouts, people do get bloody. These pictures prove it. It's not a game for the weak-willed, a busted lip or nose, not rare. Just 2 weeks ago, Ron himself got drop-kicked, a foot in the face, and a black eye.
In some matches, it gets extreme or it gets hardcore where somebody bleeds, and that's only for the purposes of making the show better.
Even with the risk of backyard bloodshed, Ron says he still wants to make a career of wrestling. Maybe someday get on SmackDown and take on the giants of the WWF. We first told you about Ron a couple of months ago. Then Christina Pinza went to a doctor for an expert opinion on the physical danger these backyard wrestling matches pose.
Oh, that has to hurt. Some of these activities could produce a real possibility of danger. Unless you're a highly skilled, trained individual like the wrestlers, there's a high likelihood of adverse outcomes if you're undertaking dangerous physical events.
You're still at it. Why?
Because I still enjoy it, still fun. You know, it gives me something to do.
Something to do with little or no adult supervision. Sometimes parents play referee, but a lot of times it's just the kids out there on their own, swinging chairs and fists.
Do you worry? Do you think it's a realistic fear that you could have a neck injury, a spinal injury could paralyze you from doing this?
Yeah, it happens all the time. It happens to professional wrestlers, so of course it can happen to us.
Thank God, so far, it hasn't happened. Ron says his fellow wrestlers plan their moves in advance, and Ron's dad isn't too worried about his son or anyone else getting seriously injured doing backyard wrestling. He downplays the matches as no more dangerous than sending your kid out to play full-contact high school football.
Do you think there may come a day, God forbid, where something might happen to him and you'll say, oh man, I wish I had stopped this sooner?
No, I really don't think that. Again, it's just like playing football on a high school football team. There can be injuries, there can be neck injuries, but it's a game, it's a sport, and as long as the kids know that, it's okay with me.
And of course, sometimes it can get pretty bloody. Some of that video you saw there are pretty graphic. So the backyard wrestling matches continue. That's your update on Ron Robinson. SmackDown fans, keep your eye on him. Hopefully he will never go from inside the ring to inside a hospital. Coming at you live tonight from Carson, I'm Peter Thorne, UPN News 13. Lauren, back to you.